Egg. A staple of modern diet, it can be found in any meal. From a breakfast omelet, to an egg salad sandwich for lunch, to spaghetti alla carbonara. But unlike the egg itself, industrialized egg production has an unbreakable shell around it.
Thankfully, there's still a rare breed of egg producers who put an emphasis not only on supplying quality eggs, but also sustaining the well-being of the chickens.
We went to the University District Farmers Market in hopes of finding a vendor that could tell us about the care and effort they put into producing their food. The kind of conversation that can never be had at a grocery store. There, we met Lynda DeChico of Toboton Creek Farm and asked how she and her eggs got to the market.
So I was at the Puyallup Fair, and this young woman came to my stand and she said, "Why aren't you in the farmers markets?" And I said, "What farmers markets?" I knew nothing about farmers markets. So that was in September, and that December I made my entrance here at this market. And I'm going to be starting my 5th season in January. And it's been very successful. This is a great market.
Over the past 5 years, she has learned what customers want and always takes their comments into consideration. Her customers like the variety in her chicken and duck eggs, which range in color and shape according to the different breeds of birds she has on the farm. Her hens outlive factory farm chickens by a long shot, whose lives end after a short year and a half.
The mainstay of our flock is the Red Star, which is a hybrid hen that's specifically known for the production and longevity. You know, they're a good healthy chicken, and they lay a lot of eggs, and they lay nice big eggs that are very popular with the customers.
Chain grocery stores sell factory farmed eggs for around $2.50 per dozen. Extra large white eggs go for about $3.90. Supposedly cage-free large brown eggs are $4. And the Toboton Creek True free-range eggs go for around $7 per dozen.
Despite her eggs being 2 to 3 times as expensive as brand eggs, Lynda said she has plenty of regulars.
So why do you think customers come back to you?
Well, they know they're fresh. They like the flavor. A lot of egg dealers have chickens that don't really go out in free range like our chickens do. But I know how I make my money is on a really, really fresh product that people want. Because if I raise garden patch variety eggs, number one, I can't expect them to pay me the price I ask for them.
Right.
And number two, I don't like store eggs, brand X. So I can't expect people to do what I wouldn't do.
So do people ever ask you, oh, well, why should I buy your eggs when I can just get them at $2 and I can't even taste the difference or anything?
All the time.
What do you say?
If they want to listen, I give them a little spiel about how production is for us and what works and why we do it, and that I would love to have them for a customer, and if they would prefer not to pay that much for eggs, then there are other ways to get the eggs. I have customers who want the freshness and want the quality, and they're willing to pay for it.
Apart from treating the chickens well and giving the customer a quality product, Lynda also understands the importance of connecting with her customers face-to-face and sees the farmers market as a perfect opportunity for this.
The basis of modern industrialized food consumption is separation. Separation from the animals themselves as well as the people who sell their meat and dairy. At the farmers market, Lynda is proud to be the link between farm and food, bringing transparency to a normally hidden world.
I think that we, in this country, we have so much, and we're so blessed, and everything is so bountiful, that we don't understand what a lot of the world, the third world country, is probably spending 99% of their income on food. And I foresee the day that we will too, if we don't start doing things a little differently. Because this kind of a market should be available to the entire country.
After the farmers market, we headed to Toboton Creek Farm to see for ourselves what free range really meant, and we were not disappointed. Though starting out as goat farmers, Dan and Lynda have now shifted much of their focus to raising chickens and selling eggs.
The chickens are free to roam where they like, and their eggs can be found everywhere in the duck, goat, and pig pens. We started out by asking Dan DeChico about the type of environment that their chickens live in. What's the concept behind, or what's the, ideal concept behind free range? Do they find their own food and that's how they get fed?
No, actually, it's better.
Yeah.
The fact that they're eating things that they want to eat.
Would you call this free range?
This is free range,
Yeah.
except that I supplement. I don't trust that they'll get enough to lay good.
Right.
Actually, they won't. I have gone a few times and run out of food, and their laying goes way down.
The egg production
Yeah.
drops when you don't regulate.
Yeah, they've got it's like the goats. They get out in the pasture, they eat all day. I still feed them a little at night.
Sure.
It's make sure they get
That they're healthy enough.
because there's always nutrients that aren't out in the field,
Sure.
and it changes with the season.
Because their chickens aren't subjected to the unnecessary stress of maximum egg production that is always present in factory farms, Dan and Lynda's flock enjoys a much better lifestyle.
What is the usual lifespan of, let's say, like a laying chicken, one of your layers?
We've got some that are 3.5 years old and they're still laying. So
Is that to be expected, or is that longer or shorter?
a lot of people say 1 year
1 year, and then
of laying, and then they aren't any good. But these guys lay every day.
why do you think that is?
Well, they aren't confined, which makes a difference. I'm not expecting 1 egg a day from the chickens. I figure 5 a week or something like that. And that's usually what I get. They're just kind of having fun.
Depending on how well they are and how healthy, the quality of the egg is affected by what they're eating and the lifestyle they're having. So happy hens produce good eggs.
The free-range environment is important both for the chicken's quality of life and for the eggs she produces. Everything from the egg's color to how it looks when cooked shows that true free-range chickens produce better-looking and tasting eggs.
Here you go. If you're running, great. The egg on a free-range chicken, if you crack that into a pan and you crack a store egg into the pan,
Edit.
you can see the difference. If you look at the yolk, the color's richer. It stands up rather than flat on the yolk. Completely different, and they're bigger. There's more to them. There is a lot of difference as far as the eggs, and that's another reason for the free range.
Getting into the eggs was a very new thing for both of us, and we hardly knew what we were doing. And for me, going to the market and listening to the customers, my education, a lot of it comes from them.
From the actual customers?
Yes, absolutely.
And you adhere to...
Well, if they can't tell me, they pique my interest, and I come home and I research things because they want to know. And if they don't know already, then I try to figure that out, or present my argument for why we do it the way we do.
Are there some things you've changed because of customers' perspectives or questions?
Yeah, she started the eggs. Well,
it started out as a goat.
She walks in the door after one market and goes, "Oh, guess what? I just bought a whole bunch of chickens."
That's right. So we've done an awful lot of our farming revolves around the hens.
Also, an awful lot of farming revolves around the way you love to surprise me.
Dan and Lynda have taken it upon themselves to invest their whole lives in their farm. It won't make a dent in factory farming, and not everyone will see the worth of what they do, but they are making a difference by selling their fresh eggs at the University District Farmers Market each Saturday.
If they say you are what you eat, then you are not just the food that makes up your meal, but you are everything that goes into bringing it from farm to plate. With Toboton Creek Farms free-range eggs, you can take comfort in eating an egg produced by farmers who care about their customers and community as much as they do their chickens. While the ethical question of eating another animal still remains, its quality of life should never be neglected, as demonstrated through the care and compassion that Dan and Lynda give to their chickens and their eggs.